And welcome back.
Dick Nipples.
Every time. Okay, we're back as Impa regains her composure from crashing to her knees in the street. Impa, where do you go?
I'll head back to the house. Look at Buzz for a moment. And then I'll go into our room and I'll pull out my armor that Buzz had made for me a few years ago. It's dark, like a almost navy armor, chainmail, I know, with like the almost like a breastplate sort of thing, but not a breastplate. Yeah, that's the word. On one little corner, there's a small symbol of like a crescent moon with a harp, and then like emblazoned on the front of it is 6 stars, and in the middle of those is 2 eyes, the symbol of the goddess Saloon. As I'm leaving, I'll reach down and I'll pick up Boz's shield as I strap my mace to my side, and one last look at him before we go, because I don't know if I'll come back to the house. I might just move him into the bedroom, just so it's like as soon as you open the door, it's not like a dead body like on the kitchen table. I'll reach into my component pouch and say a brief prayer as I sprinkle silver dust over him, and I cast ceremony, specifically the funeral one, which means that for at least for the next 7 days, that the target cannot become undead by any means other than that of a wish spell, just in case, because I don't know whoever killed him, what their plan is for this. And I'll lean down one more time, give him another kiss on the forehead. Let's get to it, and I'll head out the door and try to find where the rest of the party is.
Okay. You make your way back to Stone's Tavern as ahead of you, a couple of other patrons are now entering the establishment. Time is now 1:30 in the afternoon. And as you enter, you see Roderick sitting down with Tolban and Zane, and you hear him at the end of his sentence. He just says, "Isn't that right, Tolban? That's how it went down with Boz that day."
Bang on. It was amazing.
Zane, Zane, you should have been there. You should have been there, friend. And by this time, Roderick's sunk a few, and he's a little bit looser than normal. You should have been there, Zane. I'm just saying, just like you've been here for 100 years already, you should have been there that day. You'd understand, right, Tolban?
Maybe I should have been there.
Wait, were you there? No, you weren't there.
We can only wish, right?
Alright, look, you guys, there's more people, more bums coming in to sit down and have a drink with us all, so look, I've got to go and serve some people. Zane, Tolban, stay frosty. Yeah. I like that. That's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, stay frosty. That's great. And he heads over to back to behind the bar, and he kind of and starts serving a few other people behind the place. He sees this woman walk out, fairly plump woman. She's like, "What are you doing, Rod?" And she's taken a few tankards of ale over to other people who've just rocked up. Grekov and Beatrice, you kind of arrive almost at the same time as you reach the door. Yeah, what have you got going on?
Look what I found, really quietly.
Like, gives him the most scathing look. I'm like, yes, I'm sure your fleet of feet was quite fine in the forest.
I barely had to move. It came and I was so hidden.
I'm
and-
sure you were so hidden that it impaled itself on your arrow as you stood still.
Now that would be impressive.
As you walk in. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, anyway, let's head in.
As you head in,
Shaking my head and rolling my eyes. Like,
you just hear Roderick go, "Stone the crows! Look at the size of that kill! Bring it over here!"
if you
You get crows around here?
anymore, we're going to be having a serious issue.
Oh, listen, young sir. You can stay around these parts as long as you like. Like, if you keep bringing us, you're like, hey, Sheila, come and get this on the stove.
I believe we negotiated this together. This is not just your glory. You negotiated with me and then knocked me out of the doing part. I think I ended up on top. Ah!
He leans forward to you, Greykov. Is she always like that, mate?
Usually I'm worse.
Whoa. Don't know how you do it. I guess that's why you spend a lot of time on your own in the bushes.
Oh no, it's not like that. You see, I find him slightly repugnant. Yes.
Very, very repugnant, but useful.
Yes, very useful, which is why he stays.
I agree.
Tolban's gonna walk over to the bar. As he gets there, he puts his hand on the dead carcass, and there is death in death. There is death.
I love that as a catchphrase.
And he looks at Grey Cobb and goes, I didn't doubt you, but I didn't know you had it in you. Do you think we can hunt this thing that took down Boz? I know it's snow and I know there's been dramas, but can we go after it? Can we set a trap for it? Can we lure it? What can we do? I can't sit here and drink anymore.
Well, a trap would probably be preferable as a first go-to, but otherwise, going hunting perhaps. I don't know if it is just a wolf, then that would work, but because it is tied to the scene of the murder, I am inclined to think it is in fact murder and not an animal attack.
Yeah, I've seen a wolf attack, and I've been a wolf who's attacked, and I don't know any wolf attacks that look like that.
No, but hey, we'll do what we can.
By that time, Impa walks in to find you all at the tavern.
Yes, one thing I forgot to describe is that Impa has like a little snow hat, like all fuzzy and stuff. But the one thing you'll notice is it's got little ears on it.
Like
little...
cat ears?
No, they're like little bear ears.
Oh, okay. I was just like, it might not take.
No,
You
cat ears would be weird. Okay. No, little bear ears.
Can you imagine if you had like baby cat ears and Jorgen just spent the whole time staring at you trying to work out if they were real or not? Like,
Greykov, good catch. Here, and I'll hand over the light crossbow.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. No, I got this for you, and like the skin.
And it like slaps
cuff.
around.
Oh.
Sounds super moist.
It's like, I got this for you.
Thank you. Yes. Oh yeah, and here's the ammunition. That should maybe help for little bits, and maybe you don't have to. You can help keep hold of some of your coin for a bit longer. I know it's slim pickings around these parts.
Yeah, it will definitely come in handy. I cannot tan this hide, but I can give it.
Oh, is there salt?
No,
I mean,
If you have lots
mean-
of salt, that'll do it.
I'm sure if you speak to Roderick, he makes it could be like a point of like, look at what Great Cobb did when he came to this town. Great hunter, Great Cobb.
Do you want that
Maybe.
much notoriety?
maybe not at this stage. Come to think of it, but it is nice having people, want you around.
Yes, you did get a lot of screaming and fear, and there was that pig cart incident.
Don't bring that up.
I want to know more about this pig cart incident.
Oh, I will regale you on the road. It's how great Cobb and I met.
Holy shit. I want to know so much right now. This is a player character and a Zimper.
You met in a pig cart? Did I catch that right?
No, there's just a pig cart involved.
I too want to know this story.
I want to ask 2 more questions from Broderick, if possible.
Yeah, sure.
Now he's been plied with liquor, I feel like it's a really good time to do that.
He's pretty loose.
Roderick,
Yes, lass.
I just briefly been speaking to Cora, and she mentioned something about her son being taken. I was just wondering, had others suffered such a fate? Have you had people taken from your village? Other than-
No.
Hoorah.
No, we haven't. It was so bizarre to see what happened to that young man. But no, I don't think we've had anybody else go through the same thing as what he did.
Have there been? I know, like his heart, as I understand, turned cold as ice. But then also, I mused that the speaker changed also, not so suddenly, but in like his more cognitive faculties. Have there been other people who have changed uncharacteristically of late?
Well,
That seem not themselves?
he sits there and thinks about it for a moment. No, not that I can think of. I mean,
Insight check, just in case.
insight check.
He's probably being truthful.
You can roll with
20.
advantage. You can roll with advantage if you want to, since he's a little bit drunk.
Oh, sure. I'll take a 20 and see if I can get better than that. I got a 20. Again.
No, he's got the truth of alcohol pumping through him right now. He's like, no, he's, as far as he knows, it's just this hoorah who's been taken away. And then he opens up and says, look, poor old Shalskar, he's been losing the plot for some time now. Now, whether that's a related thing, I couldn't tell you. In fact, I'm not sure it is a related thing, but
Oh, well,
you know what?
Quite old as well. Old people often dither, as is age.
Well, he still is, right?
I said he is. Yes, I said often. Often implies now too.
have you seen him recently?
We
Last-
saw him in here the other day.
Yeah.
He was making quite a scene of things. I have a question actually about black ice. There was just
Oh,
something
yeah,
someone had mentioned. Has there been any rumor of like weird or black ice around the place?
This rumor crops up every now and then. There's this rumored that even black ice can be found around Icewind Dale. Sometimes even in 10 towns. But I've not seen any here.
Cora said that Hurrah came back with some.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
So I
That
wouldn't
what he was
imagine
holding
anything.
on to. Right, that makes sense, I guess. In a crazy kind of way.
Well, he wouldn't have gone too far then, because if they'd only been like 2 days out.
2 days? No. Hurrah got left here 2 months ago.
No. I mean, like when he'd gone out on an expedition, he'd only been absent for about 2 days.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was just one night he went missing for. He came back
Mm-hmm.
the next day, clutching this thing. So Cora
One day
tells
you're
me.
not going to get very far.
But when the weather out here turns against you, it can be as though you're 1,000 miles away.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Oh, thank you. You have been so much informative.
Ah, my pleasure, my dear.
I hope you all enjoy the meal. Serve it with carrots. I'm sure it goes beautifully.
Oh, that's Sheila. Get the carrots. Gives a nod to Tolman.
I very unsuspiciously make my way quickly away from him, and
Make him away.
because like I avoided his question, and I don't want him to keep asking and be like, "You should have, more brews or like another round. Have one for yourself as well."
Oh, you think? Oh,
Oh,
all right.
absolutely.
Okay.
It is awake. Good.
It is. Tabaz! And you hear everyone else in the tavern turn around and say, Tabaz! As a number of tankards and things clink, and they get downed. As everyone's in their silent moment with tankards to lips, the tavern door bangs open, and you see this a villager or a person in their winter wools covered in snow and frost, and just says, "There's a polar bear. It's coming this way. It's they don't normally come here. Can anybody help me? Can anybody help?"
I have such a look of absolute relief on my face right now. I thought it was someone like bursting in, going like, "The speaker has died."
Yeah, nobody knows about that yet. And Impa doesn't even know. Impa stands up. I could hit something.
Yeah.
Anyone? It looks pissed.
Yes, he's a bear.
Oh.
Tolman?
Tobin, can you anti?
Oh, Toblin's here. He ain't the bear.
No, I know
No.
he's not the bear. It's just like, can you be aware of other bears when they're not bears and they're druids?
Other bears?
Yes. Well, like you're a druid, yes.
Oh, druid.
And you've
Yes.
talked about being a wolf and hunting in wolf form. I believe I recall that correctly. Can
Bit of wolf.
druids tell when other druids are not like? So, say if that was a druid that was a polar bear,
Impa's already on her way out the door.
your druid sense is tingling. Like, I don't know.
Who can help me?
There
Who
may
can
be
help
some
me?
Druidic riding, maybe, but I'm not going to look for riding. I'm going to go hunt this thing down.
Okay. I just think, like, I don't want to be. Okay, wow. All right.
You hear Roderick say,
Where's this
Anyway.
go?
I don't think I've got anything to just tell. I got pretty high passive perception, though.
Yes, I just think that it's ominous that there is a giant bear strolling into town, and on the eve of the new moon. It seems.
Maybe it followed the blood trail Greykov left with the deer.
Oh yeah, well, that would make sense.
Yes.
But look now, we got bigger kill.
Can you eat polar bear? Is that a thing? I don't know.
If it bleeds.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you should.
Roderick calls out,
Um,
"You legends can go and take care of this, right? I'll take care of Bremen and the people here. You take care of Bremen and the people here. Just from out there."
Impa sticks her head back in the door looks at the group and is like, "Are you guys coming?"
I'm coming.
Yeah. So, for those playing at home, you absolutely can eat polar bear meat. It tastes a lot like pork and has a slightly fishy taste, but don't eat the bear liver. There you go. You have
Because you will
no-
explode.
Yeah, probably.
I would just say, just
Make
don't
sure-
eat them. Shoo them away.
Make sure it's
'Cause-
dead before you try and take a bite is also quality.
That exactly told them.
This is true.
Exactly.
Also,
As you're all leaving the tavern,
they're
Uh,
endangered, so
following-
don't try not to do that.
this person,
Oh, eating polar bears.
he says,
You don't have that
"Oh,
much.
thank you for helping me out. Look, my name's Lurs, and look, it was the weirdest thing. I was out there, hunting, looking for game, and then almost from out of nowhere, this bear, this white bear, just appeared, just off in front of me. I wasn't having any of that. I was too close to it as it was, and I just made haste to get back here to safety and get some help. But it was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. And as you're following along,
Yes, I've heard that
Why?
polar bears
Is this
can.
strangest thing?
Came from nowhere.
well,
Well, no, it's not that they come from nowhere. What they do is because the nose is the black spot, and you can spot the black spot. They cover their noses with their paws and they sneak up on people.
But don't you have to stand up on two legs to do that?
To cover your nose. No, you can just get down and cover your. Like you can try it right now.
Pass. But thanks.
If you wanted to tell if it was a druid, you'd have to be able to understand if it was magic or not.
Oh, I can do that.
If you can do that sort of thing, it might give it away. My magic is making things grow, right? Healing. I can turn a bit of thorns into something that hurts for real, not just a little pinprick. But the arcane stuff, it's not me.
All right.
and you follow Lurs to the outskirts of Bremen, and then beyond, and maybe 20 or 30 minutes passed before
The guy's name is Lures, and
He's luring us
just
somewhere.
I just exactly. I was like, is this it's
Not
a trap!
Lures,
It's a trap!
not-
Kill him! Kill him!
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on me, just
Cool.
because we're gonna go fight a bear. Yeah.
Can I
Oh,
do
I-
detect magic?
Yeah, so you're approaching this area. The edge of Bremen kind of recedes into the distance after 20 or 30 minutes hiking through the tundra following Lures. And he's like, I'm sure it was just up here. And when you hit the area he's referring to, you can see an elk in the middle of this snowy opening and a polar bear kind of at each other's throats. This polar bear is up on two legs, kind of at the elk, trying to scare it off, basically. The elk is trying to defend itself. And you guys, I'm not sure can see anything just yet, but I will drag you onto the scene.
Ooh, go elk! Oh,
Go,
wait.
elk.
Wait. We're meant to be cheering for this, right?
We got 10 guys on the on the bear.
Can you eat the elk?
Of course. You can eat
I've-
one.
I've got 2 gold on the elk.
Yes.
Who's missing? Good Santa. Impar's on there. That's it. You guys can all see?
Yep.
Yes, I can.
And you see this bear and it's up. You see this elk up in its face. The bear sees you and stops for a second. It's at that moment the elk turns and runs away from the bear. Can everyone please roll initiative?
Absolutely.
Once I start an encounter, hold your horses.
No.
That guy.
You doodle.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, that's not horrible. That's pretty good.
Holy shit! I rolled decent initiative.
Mine
Wow,
was horrible.
Also horrible.
All right, is everybody in there? We have 1, 2,
Come to
6,
my-
7. Yes. Okay.
What the fuck was that?
You compete against elk. You'd lose to polar bear.
Right. Impa, you're up.
Oh yes, that's me. Okay. It's very far away. I don't know if you guys have much range stuff, but I'll move up. I think that's about 20 feet, and then one square closer. Nope. About to there, and well, this might help whoever is after me.
The polar bear.
And as I hold up my hands, kind of like in a Kamehameha sort of thing, and I release a guiding bolt at the bear
Uh-huh.
for an 18 to hit.
18 more hit.
Excellent. That is 17 points of radiant damage.
Huge.
Jesus Christ, that was a good roll. The next attack roll made against the creature has advantage as the bear begins to glow out of its butt. And I'll use the last 5 feet of my movement to take one step back. Yes.
Okay. The bear getting struck by that guiding bolt sees you, Impa, and just starts charging at you all past this elk. How much movement has he got? 5 feet.
He hasn't even got any ranged attacks.
It's
What
about
an
that
idiot.
far. And Beatrice, you're up.
Okay, so I am going to look at this thing over here. Takes a minute, so that's not really going to be good. Okay. I'm going to try and cast a witch bolt. I think sounds like a good thing.
which
If
one?
I'd had more time, I would have done like snare, but you know. What?
Which one?
Which what?
Which bolt?
Ha ha ha.
Oh dear.
Bad.
Is this the time where we go? What? Yes, I do have first level slots available.
Just FYI, DM as well, you also got a blessing from Kat earlier.
Sweet.
No. Oh, I have advantage. Oh, I don't need it because I rolled a crit.
Yeah!
Damn.
Alright.
This bear's getting punished.
This bear just walked into the wrong neighborhood.
15 lightning damage for bear.
Sweet.
Cool. And I think that's all I can do. Yep.
Alright. Greykov, you're up.
Yes, I will move forward.
Oh, so that's 10 rounds. That's pretty
Over here, and can I see the bear?
Not really.
Not really. I'll just use my bonus action to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I'll roll a stealth.
21 plus
21 to stealth, and then I will ready a bow for my reaction to attack the polar bear when it gets within line of sight and 60 feet, I believe.
Line of sight and 60 feet. Cool. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
The elk, being startled by you guys turning up, it just had already started running in the direction of where you were, towards you. Whoops. That's a grand total of 50 feet closer to you. And Tolbin, you're up.
All right. Tolbin is going to run to about here. Just gonna 1 second. I'm slow. Give me a break.
Take the carrot out of your mouth, Tolbin.
Gives me energy. Great. What I'm gonna do is when I get there, I'm gonna see that this thing looks vicious. I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Keep your distance," and then I'm gonna cast Entangle on it, and keep it cemented in that spot.
Okay.
I think a polar bear.
Nice.
Strength save. Is that right?
That is a strength save.
Strength
Correct.
save.
Oh baby.
Natural 1 for the bear.
Wow.
You're punished at the moment.
For a total of 6 that he's not going to cut it. Alright. He is now restrained.
It is restrained, but you can use its action to try and break free.
Okay.
At the end of that, Tolbin is done, but he's the others see him kind of shaking a little bit, starting to, yeah, it doesn't look stable.
Interesting.
Okay. Zane, you're up.
Emotionally
Ooh,
sick.
I get that.
There's so many things.
Not in the party doing so much more. I'm gonna dash forward. How far can I dash? 30 to 60 feet, isn't it? Where did that put me? That put me about there-ish, wouldn't it? I'm gonna dash forward to there. It lets me use my character.
Oh, shit, I forgot the creatures can dash too, can't they? Damn.
Yep.
Yep.
They absolutely can.
Why? I can't use my
Good
character.
looking out, team.
Box.
What's
Nick,
happened?
Top left-hand corner, you got a box icon. Click
Just
that
hold
one,
press.
and then you should be able to move it.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I move 60 feet. That's there.
Polar bear.
Now that
Seven.
the elk is in range of my detect magic, do I sense any magic coming off that elk?
You do not. That just seems like an elk, which is an elk.
Cool. No, it's too easy. I will hold my ground there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Top of the round, Impa, you're up.
Okay. How's the bear looking?
Like he's stuck in
Grumpy.
vines right now. He's not looking too healthy. He's stuck in vines. He's looking pretty pissed off right now.
And is it just the
That's the bear.
one bear? There's nothing else around. It's the bear and the elk it's not bolted though.
Oh.
It tried to, but it hasn't had enough time to bolt away. Does that make sense? It's trying to run away.
Okay, and there's okay. Impa's feeling a little bit apprehensive. So just in case, Impa will reach into her component pouch, pull out a little bottle of water, and spray it up, pour some out into her hand and spray it up into the air. And she's going to cast Bless on she'll go one on Tolbin, one on Zane, and one on Greycock because they're all like kind of in front of her. You're behind me, Beatrice. You'll be okay. And so what that means is that So Tolbin, Zane, and Greykov all have an extra D4 that they can roll on any saving throw or attack roll for the next minute.
Thank you, good sir.
Sweet. The bear then attempts to make a strength save to get himself free of these vines.
I'll also take a little step back as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
That is quite a DC 13.
That's a
Rolled an
fail.
11.
Struggles as you hear this thing roaring out in frustration, but every time it tries to move, the vine just pulls it back into place. Beatrice, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to unleash a bolt of the witch bolt. I can and each of your turns for the duration you can use an action. Well, fuck, I have a question. Like, my first attack with the witch bolt was a critical hit, right? So the damage would be the critical for the first one, and then because I don't roll again, is it normal every after then?
That's a great question. How would you determine what rule that one?
I probably would just be like, no, you get it for the first one, then everyone after it's a D12. But you know, it always
I'm okay with that.
That dirty.
How do you want to do this?
Alright, so that's 6 witch bolt damage, because I don't have to roll to attack again. It's just action to deal the target automatically.
Nice.
Sweet.
It's stationary, you hit it. This bear is not looking very healthy at all right now.
Nice. That's my turn.
Greykov is up.
Okay, so Greykov is going to, he said, if the bear's not looking very healthy, he's going to like let the other people take care of it and shoot an arrow at the elk, because like that's a lot of extra meat that can be taken back. And worry about taking it back after the fight's over. So that's what he's going to do. So short bow. He's going to roll to attack. He's got line of sight from there, yeah? Yeah, I can see some of it.
Yep.
Cool. Maybe... Oh, he's hiding, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Does he roll? Yeah, so he gets advantage. So that is a 19 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then he'll get damage. He'll get normal, but he'll also probably use his sneak attack damage because he's a rogue. So I do 4d6. Normal. So he does 26 damage to that elk.
The elk just falls in spot. It takes the arrow straight again. I mean, Greykov finds that spot, even though it's moving, just behind its ears where the arrow hits, and the elk just hits the ground and slides.
You killed it! Alright, carry on. That's his turn.
Big Buck Hunter Frostmaiden version.
His sneak attack is just an extra thing. That's not a bonus action, is it? So he'll probably like try and hide again.
Okay, stay hidden.
Bonus and hide. Stealth check. 18. Cool. Alright,
Cool.
he's done.
Cool. Well, the elk can't move anywhere on its turn, so Tolman, you're up.
Tolman's going to sprint forward, but as he takes his first step, he's just going to... clothes are going to kind of fall behind him. You'll see his like old man hairy grey ass for about half a second, and then that hair just becomes like all of him as he turns into a direwolf and sprints off towards it. So the direwolf is in, and he's going to run, so that's 80 and that's 20, so he's going to run to just outside its reach. Just here.
Can you move it? No. Why
Yeah.
can't you move it? You can.
I can. Just to be clear, I didn't run through it. I ran 100 around it with a dash to get near. So its speed is 50. Cool.
Amazing.
And that is his turn for the moment. And just a reminder, with the restrained, everyone has advantage on attacks against the bear, and the bear has disadvantage on attacks and disadvantage on dex saves.
Okay.
Zane, you're up. Is that red
Nice.
ring your detect magic's radius?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, it is. Alright, I'm going to go my, 30 feet, wherever it is. Get to there. Beautiful. And get to where the elk body was, so I'm going to go there. Can I move that template? Will it let me move it? Oh, well. I can see where it goes. Am I detecting any magic off the bear now? Because it'd be in range.
You do detect some magic off the bear, yes.
Dun, dun,
You
dun.
Alright. I'm going to throw my hand axe at it, since that's pretty much all I can really do. Roll to hit.
With
And
advantage.
I
With
do it.
advantage.
Oh, with advantage, thank God.
Oh,
I just rolled normal because I rolled with the cheating. 6. I went from 1 to
1 to 2. So what happens is you get close
I'm not
enough.
very good at throwing things.
Yeah, you get close enough, but you throw this axe and it just gets thunk, lodged in these or these vines which are wrapped around it.
At the moment. So
I'll pull out my hammer
a
for the
die
next
you
one.
add.
Impa, you're up.
Okay. How close am I? I will move up if I can get my token to obey me. Oh, there we go. I'll get within 60 feet of it. So one more square up. And I will, I'll just click my fingers at it, and I will cast Sacred Flame. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw,
Oh,
which I assume it has disadvantage because it's grappled.
I would
Yes.
think so
Maybe.
as well.
Yeah, it has disadvantage on dex.
Mhm. Eight.
Okay, so it takes 3 points of radiant damage as a holy fire lights Tushi.
3 points was what it needed to be dead.
3 points of
Oh.
blood damage.
Right, if I hit it with my bloody axe.
I mean, you know, Zane, you did a good job. Nobody will say you didn't
Just
help.
go remember to go pick up the axe because you might want that later.
Yes, that too.
It's true.
As you hit it with this flame, hang on
It
a second.
dies and nothing bad happens. Of course.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Turns into dust.
So you hit it with this flame. By the time the flame kind of disappears and dissolves or sort of vaporizes, you see that this polar bear hits the ground, but kind of the moment it does, it kind of just bounces into like nothingness and floats away.
See where that good old chap Lure went.
Is whatever it just turned into entangled?
No, it turned into nothing. It just
And-
disappeared.
Oh,
Did the nothing roll a strength save though?
It didn't have to. It was air.
seeing that, I'll do a quick scan of the area to see if I can spot anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, make a perception or investigation check depending how you're looking around.
That doesn't usually happen when I kill things. Usually they're just dead. 12.
I mean, you see a lot of footprints and scuffle marks from where this bear is up and fighting this elk. But not too much else. You can see some footprints of where this bear come from, but the further you follow them up over some of these hills, the more obscured they get.
That'd be for a tracker. No, Gregor? Oh, Gregor, yes, of course. I think probably like Impa, even though like you've seen them and you can watch like from a more cursory overview, maybe it might be good to get Gregor to
Yeah.
a deep look-see.
Yes, Greykov, I could use your help. I'm familiar with its areas, but potentially fresh eyes might help.
Nah, yes. Trek, I will do this. You're gonna help him out while he does that?
I will grant him some assistance.
Okay. Ah! He chooses to suck. That's a 13.
Same kind of thing, yeah. You see the footprints, the scuffle in the snow, and you track some of these footprints up over the some of these crests, but they kind of start to disappear.
As a wolf, I've got keen hearing and smell. So I'm keen to roll and kind of see what I can sniff out.
Go for it. I'm not sure what's up with your view at the moment, Dave.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think you just smell Zane's disappointment on not hitting anything. It's okay, Zane. It happens.
So that was a
I'm
24
not good to throwing things.
24.
perception. Like tail up in the air,
Mm.
and nose down.
It just like raises the one paw, just like an arrow, just looking.
So what you track, you sort of follow these tracks as far as you can, and you can follow them a little bit further than what Impa or Greykov were able to track down, and you reach a point about a couple of 100 meters away where the trail just stops. It's as though the footprints are here, but they are no further, and there is nothing else around except snow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is there any blueberries on the ground?
I pick up my axe.
You found an axe.
Looks familiar.
Blueberries is
Yeah,
Tolman looking for blueberries. No, with that 24, you don't see any blueberries around, unfortunately.
Lures the guy that brought us out here. He's gone.
Lures.
No, we know what we remember. Just
Yeah.
Yes, lure.
I just want to say, usually when you kill something, it is still there.
He says, I agree, but this is what I'm telling you. This is kind of what you just saw, what we all just saw was, I felt like that's how I saw this thing turn up. One moment it was not there, and the next moment it was there.
I was talking to them, but yes, no, I don't disbelieve you.
Well, all right then.
I mean, just saying, like, we took care of it, and you wet yourself. Just want to say, what's better way to distract from something than luring those more capable out of the town? I think yes.
We should go back, just in case.
I mean, my children are there, and I would prefer that they not. I would prefer to only lose my husband today and not my children.
Very well.
I don't know. The tracks end. What more can we do?
Well, we can grab the elk and take it back.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say yes, of course.
Yeah. DM.
Yes.
Would I have picked up a smell that I can remember with that 24? Maybe like if I were to encounter that smell in a future time, I would remember and be able to allocate it back to this event.
Where is he pulling all this stuff from?
My direwolf interpretation.
I think yes.
Okay.
So as you reach the end of the trail, where the footprints do not continue on. While you don't see any blueberries, that kind of fruity smell lingers. It's faint just on the wind that's howling by. But you can pick it up
Yeah.
with your super snoot.
What did you find, lassie?
I growl and scratch and make some interpretive dance.
I think
Jimmy-
he's trying to tell us something.
Jimmy fell down the well.
If you need to pee, there's a tree over yonder. You're already outside.
So do we need to continue on, or are we going back to town?
I think we need to go back. I think you raise a valid point. I think that is too mightily.
I find it a bit weird that we took it down so easily and we had to go so far out of town.
All right, let's hurry back.
Lurs turns over and says, "Look, my friend, I needed help. Bears like this just don't just appear out of nowhere. And, you know, we might think we're far out of town, but these things move quickly."
Yes, no, of course, and we're happy to help. I mean, I'm part of the town, but these others, I think, might need to be compensated for their assistance. I mean, it is only fair.
Those can help us carry the elk back. Good on you, chap.
By all means,
Yes.
I can carry the elk back. Whew.
Sounds good.
How confident does he look carrying the elk back by himself?
He's trying. You see him kind of, like, he doesn't really know. Like, he's a hunter though, but he kind of just grabs it, swings it up over his shoulders, but when it's on his shoulders, he's like, "Ugh." much lower.
Into the snow.
Like, I'm not used to, like, I usually hunt smaller things than this.
I'll just like stand behind him and I'll like just hold my hand up, just like steady him and push him forward to like help take some of the weight.
I think Gregor would probably say something like, "If you were a better hunter, you'd take bigger game." Or something like that.
I agree, but I hunt what I can carry.
Hey DM, while Lurs is focused on not falling over and dying underneath the carcass, can I sniff him and see if he smells like the scent that I was just picked up on the end of the footsteps?
Yeah, make a perception check. With advantage if you have advantage on your keen smell.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
I'm just going to follow behind.
He has advantage on snoot.
On snoot.
advantage on Schneet. 23.
Pretty
My
confident there is no
perception check.
blueberries here.
All right.
You do sniff some mighty fine, like, dried meats he's had in his
Yeah.
pocket, so if that whets your appetite.
He is a wolf.
I
That's
don't
right.
attack him at the moment. Don't attack him at the moment.
Good.
How far are we from Nessie on a big picture map here?
Let me just bring in the map. Where is it
Yeah,
going?
you get into
Map
that.
time. Bring in the map. Bring in the map.
10 towns map. All right. On our map here,
Bring in the map.
you are
The
basically
happy
on the
lappy
first,
map.
pretty much on the first dot
Okay.
from Bremen. Why? I don't know why that's not
First
pinging.
red dot.
The first red dot between Bremen and Targos, heading from Bremen. Yes, right. That's the one.
And where is Nessie?
Nessie is in Mare de Weldon.
Okay. Cool. I think before the end of the session, or maybe while the session's finishing up, Tolwyn will head towards Nessie to ask her about some stuff to do with the druid based on this encounter. So just pending what happens next, or I may or may not disappear.
Okay. Well, heading back into Bremen, it sounds like, from after this kill. It takes you a little longer because Lurs is obviously slowed down by the weight.
Oh, just give it here, you
Oh,
pathetic.
oh,
Ugh.
oh. Thank you, ma'am. Think.
Impa, not ma'am.
I'm sorry. You're very strong. And you go on back to Bremen.
Beatrice, are men in... Ooh, sorry.
I was just going to say, are you guys heading back to the Stones Tavern?
Yes, I'll just lean over to Beatrice and like, are all men in the world like this?
I'm going to say, oh, do you mean whingy and pathetic?
Yes, like Boss wasn't too much, but so far, others that I've met,
I think they lack a fortitude that only women have conquered due to the depth of their suffering.
Let's continue walking. Let's give her a nod. Like,
Deep.
So you find your way back into the Five Tavern Centre, Impa with this elk on your back. I imagine at this point maybe Greykov will want to skin it and...
Oh yeah, he'll do the things. He would have gutted it before it got taken, because that's apparently what you do, he said, and then take it and then skin it when you get there, maybe? I don't know. Something.
Some things have happened. Yeah. I'll get you to roll 4d12 for me, Beatrice, on behalf of Greykov. And while that's happening and you wind up in Stones, Tolbin, what would you like to do?
So, with my increased speed, as people head back in and start doing civilized things, I'm going to disappear off to the water's edge to go and get the attention of Nessie. This will be a relatively short encounter of conversation with my voice not being 100%.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so you...
I'm ready for the voice.
Oh, shit.
I'm so glad you reminded him.
You head out to the end of the pier and tell me how you try and summon Nessie.
I'm going to head out to the end of the pier, and as I get there, I clearly took my clothing with me because I didn't have anything like dried meat in my mouth. It was weird to see a direwolf carrying some clothing, but I did it. And then when I get to the end of the pier, I stand behind that little box that's there and get dressed into my clothing as I become Tolbin again. As I kind of I wander out on the ice and find the first part where there's a bit of water. And I stick my head down and I do a little bit of D&D redneck fishing. And I just drop a little thunderclap, a little bit of a yell out to Nessie into the water as kind of my signature calling card. It's pretty distinct.
Look, I'm going to get you to roll me a d6.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll that bad boy. It's a 5.
Okay.
Every time I go speak to Nessie, I make 12 gold in knuckle head trout.
Actually, also roll me a animal handling check.
Animal handling.
With advantage.
With advantage. Them advantages. That is a 22.
Okay. So, firstly, as soon as you kind of do your massive thunderclap shout out, through some of the ice, you can see 5 of these knucklehead trout sort of come up right near you. Right, so you can collect those if you want. A moment later, just cracking through the ice, you see this monstrous long neck these very dark, black, beady eyes. And Nessie comes up, says, "What do you want?"
Nessie. Nessie. My good friend, it's me.
You
Tolbert.
can't do this to me, Tolbert.
There's been an emergency.
No, that.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, what are you talking about?
Do you remember the good-looking guy in the purple outfit that was here last time? He was really kind.
The one that didn't stop talking?
Never stopped. Something killed him.
What?
He's dead. It was something otherworldly. It wasn't like an animal. But we just encountered a polar bear came near the town. We ditched our grief, we ditched our booze, and we ran out to fight it. As it died, it disappeared into dust. It was nothing. And I followed it. I was able to follow some tracks, and the tracks just disappeared into nothing, like something became a bird and flew away. But I could smell the smell of druid berries. I was sure that's what it was. Has the druid been back? Tell me what you're talking about.
Nessie's head swoops down right in front of yours. And just as quietly as it possibly can, that's about that close, just says, "Yes, Tolman. The druid has been back. It's not looking good for me. It's not looking good for you. It certainly wasn't looking good for Bob."
What did he say? When did this happen?
The night before last.
The night
And-
before last.
Whatever,
Maybe
straight after
previously.
you guys first met me.
Right.
And he said to me, he said, Tolman, he said that I gotta sort my shit out and bite the shit out of all the Bremens, or he's not gonna make me stupid. He's gonna take my head. That's
Wow.
even less appealing.
This head of yours is pretty good though. It's on its neck still. When did he say he'd come back?
He said he'd come back often. He keeps a lookout. I don't know when he comes round, but he just knows things.
All right. Look, I'll get them to send out some boats that you can bite. So if anything comes out, you bite the crap out of it. You keep that neck of yours safe, okay?
Thanks, Tolman.
How does he get in contact with you? Like, I obviously sing my sweet siren song, but how does he get in contact with you?
It's got a boat as well.
He's got a boat.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
It's a boat.
Well, I mean, it's one you haven't bitten before, right? Is it what color is it? Just wooden? Is it got a big mast? Is it,
Yeah,
rowboat?
he can say certain things with gets in my head, and then I have no control now. I just have to go and see what it wants.
All right.
I can't be here, Tolman. I've lingered
Alright.
too long.
Get out of here, Nessie. I'll do what I can to keep you safe. I'll go back and chat to the others, but I'll let them know to send a few boats out for you to destroy.
Thanks, Tolman. And Nessie sort of back underwater, and you see this black mass disappear out of view.
Tolbin gets the fish that came up and kind of cuddles them up and takes them back with him, and makes his way back to the docks to find people, and finds the guy who sent them out fishing last time. He's looking to see if that guy's around.
Yeah, you find him back in Stone's Tavern. He's there with everybody else.
Looks a bit weird wandering into Stone's Tavern with 5 fish. That's wandering into Stone's Tavern.
Here he is.
And I ask him how much to buy one of the boats off him.
And he turns to you because this guy's had a few drinks as part of this afternoon activity as well. It's like, you've been fishing today, Tobin. That's mighty bold of you. I can see you're doing pretty well at this thing.
Yeah. It's because I'm so close to nature.
Yeah, right. Whatever you say, boss.
Do you want a carrot?
Yeah, well, I'll have a carrot. Need some vitamins. I see you got a few fish there.
Look, if you want the fish, they're yours. But I need one of your boats.
Oh, Tobin, that's you know I'm running short of these boats. What do you need a boat for?
Well, I need a boat to go out and get damaged on purpose.
What?
Yeah. I'll bring you in a bunch of extra fish, and I'll send around a bunch of extra carrots each day to make up for it, and I'll ship you some coin.
Well, how much coin we talking here? A boat takes a fair bit of cost and upkeep, you know.
I know. I'll organise the upkeep of the boat. I want to be clear. This thing's going to get busted up.
Oh.
Yeah. Call it an experiment on keeping us safe.
All right, well, if you're going to compensate me with both this trout and coin, and you're going to bring me a new boat when you come back, right?
Oh, I didn't say new. I said I'd maybe fix it up. But look,
Right.
I'll make it worth your while.
Make a persuasion check.
Could you persuade him to go on the boat too? Sorry.
All my perception is like +5. My persuasion is -1.
I will clocking Tolbin, speaking with his character. I'll go and stand behind him.
It's an 11.
Leering.
You know what I meant to say before, because he's had a few drinks, you can have advantage on that.
Oh, all right. Let's give it a run.
Especially with Impa now in the mix. Not that he knows.
Oh, yeah, not an improvement. That's a 2. So the 11 was much better.
I tell you what, Tolbin. You give me them 5 trout. You can leave them at the front for me so they stay nice and fresh.
Always.
You give me what would we say 2 gold now.
2 gold.
Yeah.
What about 1 gold now, and then we'll see about the other gold depending on the condition of the boat.
What does that mean? You're gonna bring it back in pieces?
Well, I mean, if I bring it back in pieces, I'll give you the other gold. If I bring it back pretty good, then I'll, give you a couple silver.
All right, Holman. I'm feeling generous today, but the town's had enough shit to deal with. I'm sorry, Impa. Fine, you got yourself a deal. Just take the crappiest boat you can find.
Of course. But I mean, all of yours are so good, and I give him like a jestful pat on the back. And with that, I'm just going to head outside and stick the fish in the ice for them to kind of stay fresh. And the next day, I'll take the boat out and organize for Nessie to have a little chomp on it and make it seem like it's a big deal and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. With that, anything else you guys would like to do before you head off for the afternoon?
Well, there's not much else for us left to do, is there? I'll say to the group as a whole. Greykov, you had a plan, but we can't talk too much about it now. But if we get, if everyone has a bit too much tonight and sleeps through it all.
So in other words, get everyone drunk. Copy.
Well,
But that is a good idea.
while we wait, I did uncover some things earlier that might be of use for everyone to know. If you're interested, of course. If not, that's fine.
Yes, anything. What have you learned?
Okay, so I went about inquiring and learned that, this town had been settled about 200 years ago. You know, for my own settling of things, like that's useful to know. And originally, the speakers had made decisions for the town, and they met with other speakers to decide things. You know, trade, rule, negotiations with Frostmaidens. 10 years ago, the Frostmaiden did arrive, which you would know, and the speakers met at that time and decided on appropriate sacrifices to be made to her, and were in charge of seeing them upheld. But 10 months ago, as you would know, this speaker here began to deteriorate, and it seemed to be a gradual change. So it was a little bit tricky for it to be narrowed down when that happened. But more interestingly, recently there was another meeting. The loyalists to the Frostmaiden, of which there are now loyalists to the Frostmaiden across the 10 towns, decided or agreed that the sacrifices to be made needed to be ones of true, deep, enduring harm. And they must be sacrifices of life. And some of the towns, some of the 10 towns actually agreed. Those that didn't have had people taken. One such has happened here, where Hurrah was taken, briefly returned, and it was changed by black ice. 2 months after he was went missing and had returned, tieflings too came to the town, and they headed with him east to Targos. So I guess Targos is kind of the direction that our clues are leading.
The tieflings that Beatrice mentions, does that ring a bell for Impa?
Or myself, since I passed through Targos.
No, neither of you ring a bell.
Okay.
I think I need to correct one thing.
Oh, sorry. I did my best.
It was 2 months ago when Hurrah went with them.
Oh, okay.
But he was gone for one night, came back, changed person, and the next day, these two tieflings turned up and took him away, and that was 2 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's kind of what my notes say, but not what I actually said with my mouth.
Okay.
What he said, and I'll write that more articulately. Yes.
Well,
Guess we got a long road ahead tomorrow.
I mean, are we finished for today? Are we going to do Grey Cob's plan?
Will that work?
We
Or
could.
will we have better luck than next town?
I guess if in the next town there's less of an emotional connection for you to it, so if it was all to go pear-shaped, you wouldn't be devastated. So I'm sure there's other things we can do elsewhere to inspire rage in the Frostmaiden loyalists. Because, you know, here is not a town where you have the Frostmaiden loyalists, so maybe the effect might be greater in a town that did. But also, yes, if it were to go pear-shaped, I'd feel bad.
I appreciate that, Beatrice. Thank you. But yeah, I think you're correct. We could go to the next town and stir up some shit.
Grinsk, who's in the room with you, overhears you talking about the next town, talking about Targos, and he's like, turns around over the back of his chair, is like, "You all heading to Targos, are you?"
Yes.
What's of it?
Well, did you hear about those adventurers who went through there last week?
Nah.
No, they came through. They when they were here, they said they were looking for this mystical Oyomin Artok.
Oh, I did hear that. Boz sent them on that wild goose chase.
Did he? Oh my god. Impa, would you know something about this Oyomanatok? It's a Goliath thing. You're a Goliath, right? Is it true? False? Did Boz just send him to their doom? Rest his soul.
Just because I'm a Goliath does not mean I know all the other Goliaths, Grinsk.
Oh, begging your pardon. Anyway, this Oyomanatok is...
You give him a stare. I just give him a stare. It's just like...
He feels quite sheepish for a moment and stops and just has a little sip. You would know the rumor of the legend of Oyomanatok, Impa?
I assumed, but I wasn't gonna like fucking confirm his fucking assumptions.
And you know that the rumor is that Oyomanatok is a Goliath lycanthrope.
Werebear, didn't you say?
Werebear, who can transform into a polar bear.
Ooh.
No, but there would have been a body still. There would have been a body still.
And Grinsk says, I wonder if you can catch up to him if you wanted to. I mean, you're only adventurers, how fast can they be, right?
Yeah.
He's had a few too many already.
Yeah. It's
Anyway, I didn't mean to pry. I just thought maybe...
And Grins.
What?
If you were more sorrowful, you'd be hiccuping more too.
Oh, just hold my liquor better, love.
Hang on. I'll send up to boss.
To boss.
Live in Bremen.
And what, sorry? What was the last bit?
And his belief in Bremen.
Oh, and his belief in Bremen. And the whole tavern erupts with belief.
Have a small sip.
Skull.
Little wary because I know what needs to be done, but yes.
With that, we'll end our session there for the evening as we kind of wind yourselves down for the night.
Do we get to sing We're Going on a Bear Hunt? We're going on a bear hunt.
Gonna catch a big one.
I'm not good.
I will keep an eye on Beatrice until she goes to bed and make sure she gets to bed safe because she's clearly very drunk and doesn't know how to hold her liquor.
It's also covering for the fact that what I'd said out of my mouth wasn't particularly PC, talking about someone was like, oh yeah, Buzz did that, and then not realizing, oh yeah, Buzz is dead, oops.
Impa knows, but she also thinks that you actually might be drunk, so just in case. Because you are small, you are much smaller than her, so she doesn't understand how.
That's fair.
All right. Well, we'll pick it up there again next week with episode 6 as you guys choose what you might want to do. Follow this legend of Oyomanatok. God, that's a hard one to say. Or continue
Oyomanatok, come on, get with it.
Oyomanatok. Yeah,
Oyomanatok.
Pick up Tali's story and help her get to Lonely Wood. Or something else. We can decide through the week.
It's been 2 days, guys. 2 days in Bremen. We did it.
But yeah, we'll leave
Only
it there.
one player character died in 2 days.
Good on.
Savage.
Yeah.
And don't forget to tune in again next week. We're back at episode 6. Join us on the Discord and the Patreon and the YouTube, which this session will be up in a couple of days.
And the Spotify.
And the Spotify. Join us on the podcast. You can listen to this whilst you're driving a car and be safe about it. So with that, we'll let you go and see you again soon. And don't forget,
Take care, guys.
never
See
check
you
for
guys.
traps. Bye.
See ya.